Wait lang ah. The Dangerous Drugs Board shall order the confinement of drug dependent who refuses to apply under the voluntary submission program. C. A drug dependent discharged as rehabilitated but does not qualify for the exemption from criminal liability shall be placed on probation. And D. Temporary release of drug dependent subject to aftercare and follow-up treatment from DOH shall be for a period of not exceeding 18 units. So what is the answer? 77. Bakit wala nang humuhula? Wow. Is the answer is letter A. Okay, alpha. Alpha po ang answer sa 77. Charges can be filed drug dependent who is not rehabilitated under voluntary submission program. 77. Okay. 78. Okay. For question number 78. The best type of questioning that allows no possibility misinterpretation is blank questioning. Ito napaka lang nito. What we call this? Common sense. Ano ba yung best type of questioning? Lalo na kung interrogation, interview, na hindi tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng anong klaseng misinterpretation? A. Logical. B. Direct. C. Rational. D. Indirect. Yung sinasabi nga nila, dapat pag nagtatanong ka, wala ng palabok. So ano yung answer natin dito? A, B, C, or D? The answer is, for number 78, sorry, letter B. Okay, direct. Okay? For question number 78, direct. Wala nang palabok. Dapat kung ano yung question, yun na yun. Yun yung sagot. Diba? So, para hindi magkaroon ng other misinterpretation sa questions natin, dapat maging direct tayo sa pagtatanong. Okay? Direct to the point. Bravo. 79. One's impression or personal belief is blank. Ito, definition of term. One's impression or personal belief is A, fact, B, evidence, C, proof, D, opinion. Andiyan naman na eh. Personal belief. Ano lang ba yung personal belief dyan? Fact, evidence, proof, or opinion? Letter D. So, kapag dating sa mga evidence, hindi naman pwedeng yung ating interpretation is based on our personal belief. No? Hindi yan pwedeng maging admissible in court unless expert witness po, no? Ang magsasabi ng kanyang opinion sa korte. Okay? So, number 79, D. Wala ba kayong marinig? Lahat po ba? Guys, can you hear me? Mag-answer po kayo sa natin. Clear po. Pakipindot yung audio nyo, guys, doon sa mga hindi nakakarinig sa akin. Baka di nyo lang napindot. So, 79, delta. Okay. For question number 80. Which of the following is not one of the behaviors commonly associated with organized crime activities? Ulitin natin Which of the following is not one behaviors commonly associated with organized crime activities? So, alam niyo naman yung mga behavior ng organized crime group, right? So, saan daw dito yung hindi? Letter A, conduct of illicit activities and provision of illicit goods. Pag illicit, mga illegal, di ba? B, systematic murder and influence peddling. C, conspiracy and engagement in legitimate business. And D, extortion and corruption. Ano ang sagot dito? Ito ano rin to logic din tong paggaganahin natin dito. Sa ibang mga questionnaire, ang sagot dito C, yung iba B. Pero kung titingnan natin, kung titingnan natin yung members ng isang organized crime group, ano ba yung tatlong members ng organized crime group? Meron tayong enforcer. Ano ang trabaho ng enforcer? Ano ang trabaho ng enforcer? Siya yung gumagawa ng killings. Diba? Pagdating sa mga pananakot, pagpatay, trabaho yan ng enforcer. Si corruptor, anong trabaho ng corruptor? Kilala rin niya bilang, siya bahala sa sweet talks, tama? No? Siya yung middleman. Diba? And corruptee, yan naman yung protector, tama? Siya yung corrupt na political, it's either any member ng government. Diba? So, kung titingnan natin doon sa tatlong elements na yan, ng members ng organized crime group, sabi pag present tong tatlo, organized crime group na yan ano lang dito yung wala? Not a behavior commonly associated with organized crime. Letter, murder, ginagawa nila. Ando na nga nandyan si enforcer, di ba? Meron silang mga illicit activities, of course, meron yan present. Dalawa na lang. The answer is letter C. No? Conspiracy and engagement. Kasi gumagawa rin sila ng extortion and corruption. Kasi nga, kay corruptor and corruptee yung ginagawa nila sa isa't isa. Diba? So, ang answer ay C, conspiracy and engagement in legitimate business. Charlie, 80. Conspiracy and engagement in legitimate. Pag sinabi mong conspiracy, illegal ba agad? Conspiracy, meron lang kayong pagkakasundo-sunduan sa isa't isa. So, hindi pa siya magiging illegal. They are engaging in legitimate business naman, hindi naman illegitimate. Diba? So, letter C. Conspiracy, engagement, legitimate business. Legitimate. Legal yung, kahit na meron silang nag-conspire sila sa isa't isa na gumawa nag-conspire sila para gumawa ng legitimate business. So, hindi siya mali. Hindi siya illegal. Charlie. Okay? 81. The following are most popular plants as source of dangerous drugs, except the following are the most popular plants as source of dangerous drugs, except A, opium poppy, B, Indian hemp, C, coca bush, and D, ephedra. Actually, mali yung spelling na to Ang ephedra is my H. Ephedra. Ano dito ang exemption? The exemption here is letter letter D, ephedra. Opium poppy, bakit sikat din siya, di ba? Siya nga yung sa opium. Indian hemp, yung ating marijuana, coca bush, cocaine. So, ang naiiba lang dito yung ephedra. Kaya delta, exemption. Okay? Kadalasan din kung manghuhula kayo, halimbawa lang, dumating ka sa point, manghuhula ka sa board exam. Kadalasan ng mga halaman, yung mga mushroom, ganyan, hallucinogen siya. Kadalasan pero hindi lagi. Hindi lagi. 82. Death by asphyxia may be the result of the following strangulation, except A, hanging, B. Manual, C. Suffocation, and D. Ligature. Ulit. Death by asphyxia may be result of the following strangulation, except A. Hanging, B. Manual, C. Suffocation, and D. Ligature. Ano ang sagot? May sumasagot ng A, B, C, at D. So wala kayong ano dito, wala kayong unity sa question number 82. Okay, ano rin to? Tricky question. Ano kasi sabi ko kanina ang other term for asphyxia? Ano kasi? Ano? Other term for asphyxia? Suffocation, di ba? So kung asphyxia na yung tanong, suffocation, therefore, siya ang mali dyan. No? Siya lang ang naiiba sa question, sa choices, sorry. Suffocation. Hanging, manual, ligature, it's all type of strangulation. No? Ligature, ginagamitan mo ng ligature. Kunwari, gumamit ka ng tali para patayin mo yung tao, para mawalan ng hininga. Ligature yung tali na ginamit mo. Okay. So, kunwari yung braso, inipit sa leeg mo, gaging yun. Okay. Then hanging, gumamit ka ulit ng ligature, tinali mo yung leeg mo, tapos hinang mo, namatay, di na nakahinga, loss of data kanina. Okay, tuloy tayo, no? So for this question number 83, what do you call a mark produced by a vehicle traveling in an arc or curved direction? Okay, what is the answer here? Nga. A, skid mark. B, centrifugal force. C, scuff mark. D, centrifugal skid. Okay, ang magiging keyword nyo dito, guys, is yung curve or arc. Saan lang ba sa tingin nyo yung may curve or arc here? Skid, centrifugal force, scuff mark, or centrifugal skid? The answer here is letter D, no? Centrifugal skid, delta. For number 83, delta. Okay? Mamaya yung skid, scuff mark, papakita ko rin sa inyo mga sample niya. Okay. For number 84, the following are considered as an elusive object in crime scene investigation, except elusive. Ibig sabihin, elusive, medyo nakakalito. Okay? Ganon yung perception ng 84. The following are considered as an elusive object in crime scene investigation, except A, associative evidence, B, testimonial evidence, C, object evidence, and D, physical evidence. Ha? Pansinin nyo to, ha? Si associative object at physical evidence ay pare-parehas na physical evidence. Lahat yan ay physical. Okay? Lahat sila ay tinatawag na physical, object, or real. Therefore, ang naiiba lang natin dyan ay si letter B, which is testimonial. And it is elusive, no? Pwedeng makalito siya sa isang criminal investigation. So the answer is letter B. Kaya, For 84, answer natin, letter D. Next. Question number 85. In the study of organized crime in criminal group that is non-ideological and process no political agenda, always motivated by A, control, B, influence, C, profit, D, power. Ito common sense na to Automatic, pag organized crime group, non-ideological yan. Ibig sabihin, wala silang pinupush na goal or idea na meron silang matinding paniniwala. Ang main focus nila ay, of course, profit. Okay? Profit. So for number 85, the answer is Charlie. Okay. Question number 86. The following are causes of traffic accident. Tingnan mo to Causes of traffic accident. Except. Lahat daw to pwedeng mag-cause ng aksidente bukod sa isa. A, undisciplined drivers. B, roadworks obstructions. C, vehicle overspeeding. And D, lack traffic rules and regulation. Ano kaya ang sagot? Actually, lahat to pwedeng answer. Pero, again, logic tayo mag-isip, no? Ano kaya ang exception to the rule? The answer here is undisciplined drivers, pwede, no? Magbabanggaan yan kung masyado kang mabilis magpatakbo, mabagal, undisciplined driver. Yes, traffic accident. Vehicle overspeeding, pwede din. Ganun pa rin, undisciplined drivers and vehicle overspeeding is almost the same. Okay. Lack of traffic rules, walang traffic signal, walang traffic signs, may cause accident. So, itong road works and construction na letter B, ang i-cause niya lang ay traffic congestion. Traffic congestion. Hindi aksidente ang nagiging resulta ng obstruction. Kunwari, may mga, pansinin nyo, pag may gumagawang Maynilad sa kalsada, hindi naman sila nakaka-aksidente, pero nagiging congested yung traffic. So, yung letter B ang sagot natin. 86, bravo. Next. For number 87. A building must have this design which is used as a continuous passageway for the transmission of air. A, exhaust system. B, fire exit. C, duct system. And D, duct. I already answered this before. The answer here is, basta pag pinag-usapan natin passageway and transmission of air, it is called duct system. Duct system. Charlie. Okay, number 88. Investigating burning building, you look for the source of fire and its ignition. Which of the following is not a source of ignition? Ito, napaka-common sense. No? Saan lang ba dito yung hindi magiging source ng ignition? Therefore, hindi magkakos ng heat. Ano lang yung hindi magkakos ng heat dito? Electrical, mechanical, chemical, or accidental? The answer is, for number 88 is heat. No, accidental. Kasi kung papansin niyo, sources of heat tong electrical, mechanical, and chemical, pwede siyang maging source ng ignition. Okay, 88, Charlie. For 89, outside of family structure, emotional disputes that result to killing often occur in the bars and similar social gathering places. Which of the following is most likely the cause? Logic ulit ang paggaganahin natin. Okay? most likely the cause? A. Consumption of alcoholic beverages. B. Jealousy between friends. C. Taking of illegal drugs. And D. Distrust with or among strangers. So kadalasan daw pag may mga family gatherings, no? Makikita daw to, it often occurs in bars and social gatherings. So, ano ba nagiging dahilan kung bakit kadalasan merong nagsusuntukang magbarkada dahil sa girlfriend nila? Kadalasan kapag lasing na sila. So, the answer for number 89 is A. Consumption of alcoholic beverage. Pwede pa rin naman tong B, C, at D. Yun nga lang, kung gagamitin natin yung logic natin, ano ba yung kadalasang nagagamit or ginagawa? Laging inuman. Yan lang naging dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng mga disputes sa mga gathering places. Kasi kadalasan ang drugs, ginagawa yan discreetly, no, patago. Hindi yan ginagawa basta-basta sa mga bars. Okay? Kaya nga may mga drug dens tayong tinatawag. So, 89, alpha. 90. Studies have shown that workplace homicide suspects are typically caused by following except. Studies have shown that workplace homicide suspects are typically caused by the following except. A. Disgruntled employee. B. Domestic offender. C. Obsessive employee. D. Stranger or outsider. So, kadalasan daw yung homicide sa workplace ay nangyayari kadalasan kanino bukod sa isa. Common sense ulit, no? Ito, employee, so nasa loob. Domestic offender, ibig sabihin ng domestic, nandun lang rin sa members ng organization. Employee, sa loob pa din. Therefore, the answer is delta. No? Number 90, delta. No? Pansinin nyo sa CDI talaga, mag-iisip ka lang talaga ng common sense. It's either common sense, logic, no? Kung ano yung magiging answer natin. Okay. Question number 91. What is the set of doctrines or beliefs that form the basis of political, economic, and other system? Ito kadalasan yung nagiging motivation ng ating mga terrorist groups kasi may ideological beliefs sila. A. Politics. B. Religion. C. Ideology. And D. Tradition. What is the answer for number 91? Set of doctrines or beliefs. Answer po natin dito ay Charlie. Ideology. No? Tandaan nyo, nasa CDI po tayo. No? Hindi tayo gagamit ng salitang tradition dito. Ideology. Ay, ito pa, isa rin sa magiging tip ko para sa inyo. Bago kayo mag-board exam, isipin nyo muna ano nga bang subject yung sinasagutan nyo. Kasi sa board, for example na lang, no, sa SOC, CRIMSOC, meron tayong mga acquisitive, no, na term pagdating sa crimes, no, acquisitive, mga ganyan-ganyan. Pero sa revised penal code natin, pag sa criminal law, hindi naman natin pwedeng gamitin yon. Diba? So, nakadepende yung magiging answer mo kung ano yung subject na sinasagutan mo para din hindi ka malito. Okay? Oh. Try natin. Question number 92. The privilege of immediate use of roadway in preference to another vehicle or pedestrian is blank. The privilege of immediate use of roadway in preference to another vehicle or pedestrian is blank. A. Immunity. B. Giving way. C. Leniency. And D. Right of way. Ito napaka-basic na to . So, bibigyan mo daw ng privilege ang isang tao na magamit ng roadway rather than you. The answer is, of course, delta, right of way. Diba? Immediate use of the roadway, right of way. Immunity, giving way, leniency, lahat yan panggulo lang. Delta lang tayo. Okay, for number 92, delta. Okay, number 93. The illicit funds of Pinuno Organized Group is financial institution already. Again, the illicit funds of Pinuno Organized Group is in financial institution already. As an investigator and anticipating the next move of Pinuno, what is the process in money laundering that Don Emilio will undertake in order to prevent the tracing back of illicit funds? A. Integration. B. Placement. C. Conversion. D. Layering. Ito, ano rin to, tricky question din to, madam people. No? Tingnan mo mabuti yung question, ha? Sabi niya daw, na yung Pinuno Organized Crime Group, yung kanilang pera ay nandoon na sa financial institution. Napasok na daw nila sa bangko, halimbawa. Kung ikaw daw ang investigador, ano yung in-anticipate mong next move nila pagkatapos nilang dalhin or ilagay sa mga financial institution? Integration, placement, conversion, o layering? The answer is letter. Naku, ang dami pa rin nagkakamali. Letter D, layering. Kasi ano ba yung ginawa niya? Yung pag pinapasok mo sa financial institution, you are doing what? Placement, no? Na yung first stage, nasa na sila. So, ang investigador, ang tayin mo, step is layering. Delta. Na? The answer is delta. For number 93, delta. Tingnan nyo kasi yung question, hindi porkit nabasa nyo yung financial institution, yun na yung answer. Ang sabi dito, anticipating the next move. Diba? Ano daw yung susunod? Okay? 94. The evidence that can be associated with a single unique source is blank. The evidence that can be associated with a single unique source is blank. Oh. So, kung kanina, sabi ko sa inyo, group, at ang sagot doon ay class characteristic. Ito naman, anong nakalagay? Single. Therefore, what is the answer? A, B, C, or D? Letter A, individual characteristic. Kasi si class characteristic, ang sagot, group ang keyword mo dyan. Group. No, group. Okay, for 94, alpha. For number 95, as arson investigator, you understood the following as some of the factors that may affect the extent of burning, except. As an arson investigator, you understood the following as some of the factors that may affect the extent of burning, except. So lahat daw to makaka-apekto sa extent of burning, yung lawak. So A, wind velocity, B, relative humidity, C, numbers of incendiary, and D, air temperature. What is the answer? Diba? Kung titingnan natin yung elements of fire, meron tayong oxygen, heat, at saka fuel. So, isa sa dahilan kung bakit kumakalat yung apoy is oxygen. Oh, ano lang naiiba dito? Ha? The answer is letter C. Number of incendiary. No? Hindi naman niya yan mapapakalat. Though pwede din siya, pwedeng mangyari. Kaso nga lang, add one out tayo ulit. No? Lahat to is natural. Velocity, humidity, temperature. Therefore, the answer is Charlie. Ha? Mag-ano tayo, pag nagsasagot kayo guys, tingnan nyo muna yung choices. Maswerte nga tayo yung board exam natin, may choices. No? So, piliin nyo po yung naiiba, kadalasan. No? Yung, kung lahat, nearest answer po ang pipiliin. Best answer. 95, Charlie. 96. Which of the following is the purpose of search in crime scene? A, all of this. B, corpus delicti. C, tracing evidence. And D, associative evidence. Ha? Gusto nating makakita ng physical evidence. And corpus delicti, tracing evidence, and associative evidence are all physical evidence. Therefore, the answer is alpha. Okay, 96, alpha. Dito tayo sa situational. No? Let us answer this question. Fire Officer Bicoy was responding to a fire scene. Apparently, flammable material is an asphalt or crudo. The only extinguishing agent that he has is water. Okay. So, yan yung situation ha. So, may apoy, fire officer si Bicoy, kailangan niyang patayin yung apoy at ang gamit niya at ang nasusunog ay flammable material. Pag sinabi natin flammable, this is liquid, right? Kaya nga nang sabi ko kanina. Okay. So, ang kanyang extinguishing agent is water. So, tingnan natin ang first question. From the foregoing, can Fire Officer Bicoy use water to extinguish fire? From the foregoing situation, can Officer Bicoy use water to extinguish fire? One, no, water is not the best extinguishing agent for flammable liquid. B, yes, if water is used in a rainy sprinkler manner. And 3, absolutely not. So si A, ito daw ang sagot, 1 and 2. B, 1 lang. C, 1 and 2. And 3, D. Tandaan natin si water, this is best for Class A fires. Yung ating mga combustible materials or combustible solids. Therefore, ang tamang sagot dito, letter A. No? Hindi siya pwede because it is not the best extinguishing agent. At no, absolutely not. Okay? So for number 97, alpha. Dahil ang water, ginagamit po yan for Class A fires. At ang pinag-uusapan natin, ang crudo is Class B fire. 98. From the foregoing situation and under the given circumstance, what would be the best extinguishing agent of Fire Officer Bicoy? Ano daw yung best para sa ganong situation? A, water, so that the flammable liquid may be diluted. Siyempre, hindi na ito kasi nga sabi ko nga sa inyo, pang Class A fire yan. Chemical powder as it will absorb the flammable liquid material. C, removal of flammable material from the fire. Pwede ba nating i-remove yun? Liquid yun. So, X na din. No? And foam extinguishing agent, it will block the oxygen in penetrating the flammable liquid. So, what is the answer? Kasi ang tanong dito, best eh. Actually, tama to. B and D is correct. Pero ang hinahanap natin is best. Therefore, the answer is letter D. No? From extinguishing agent as it will block the oxygen penetrating the flammable liquid. Delta. No? Delta. 98 delta. Okay, pagpalagay natin for number 99. From the foregoing situation, no? Can fire officer Bico use carbon dioxide as an extinguishing agent? Pwede ba daw bang gamitin ang carbon dioxide as an extinguishing agent? 1. Yes, it will absorb flammable liquid as if the fire is just small one. 2. No, as it will only absorb flammable liquid. And 3. Yes, provided that the carbon dioxide is in substantial amount. What is the answer? A, 1 and 2. B, 1. C, 1 and 3. And D, 2 and 3. Uy, wala nang sumasagot ah. Sagot. Ano natin dito? Answer. So the answer here is letter C, no? Bakit letter C? Yung 1 at saka 3 are correlated to each other. Tingnan mo yung 1. Pwede daw as long as maliit lang yung apoy. Therefore, connected siya sa 3 na kapag substantial ang amount ng carbon dioxide, kung sapat yung dami ng carbon dioxide na gagamitin, pwede. Okay? So, the answer is letter C. Okay? Okay. And for the last number of set 1, no? Question number 100. From the foregoing situation, no? Suppose that fire officer Bicoy has foam fire extinguishing agent. Can he use it effectively? Halimbawa daw meron siyang foam fire extinguishing agent. Kunwari AFFF, pwede ba siyang gamitin? Yes, because foam will block oxygen needed to sustain fire. B, no, because it will require lot of foam extinguishing agent. Yes, foam will dilute liquid. And D, no, since foam is lighter than the flammable liquid, it will flow. So the answer here is letter A. No? Yes, because foam will block the oxygen needed to sustain fire. Very good. So, pasok na tayo kay set 2. Ready na ba kayo? Pwede na kayong mag-inat-inat? Banat sa set 2. The classification of physical evidence which has the highest degree of probability is A, class characteristic, B, mixed characteristic, C, independent characteristic, and D, individual characteristic. Highest degree of probability. What is the answer here? If we are talking about the highest degree of probability, ibig sabihin kung gusto mong malaman kung ano talaga or kanino talaga yan, saan dapat ang hanapin mo? Yung kanyang individual characteristic, no? Ang keyword mo dyan, highest degree of probability. Diba? Pag may individual characteristic, halimbawa sa bullet, sa fingerprint, pag may individual characteristic, yun yung magiging edge niya. No? Yun yung highest degree of probability na malaman natin kung kanino yung identity. So, 101 is delta. Okay, question number 102. Okay, if cocaine is originated from Colombia, shabu originated from what country? A, China, B, India, C, Japan, and D, Mexico. Saan ba nagsimula ang shabu? Okay? It is originated from Japan. Charlie. Japan. Japan po. Siya nga po ang inventor niyan. Ang China, sa kanila po matatagpuan yung ephedra. Ephedra sa China. Okay, kung ang pinag-usapan natin origin, ibig sabihin mula sino ang nag-invent. Okay, pero pag ang pag-uusapan naman natin is production. Okay, pag production, cocaine, ang nagpo-produce niyan ay ang Colombia. Opium, Afghanistan yan. Okay? While yung Golden Triangle naman natin, dati, ano to na Myanmar na. Okay? Opium, yung Burma. Shabu naman, syempre papatalo ba yung Philippines? Di ba? Hindi tayo papatalo. Dapat meron rin tayong production. Methamphetamine or shabu. Kaya, so pag production pinag-uusapan natin, pero pag originate, sino ang inventor niyan? Japan po ang shabu. Okay? Question number 103 or number 3 dyan sa inyo. The mandate of BFP that encompasses varied activities like fire prevention, fire control, firefighting, fire protection, and fire safety is blank. A. Fire safety. B. Fire law enforcement. C. Fire control. And D. Fire education. So kung pinaghalo-halo na yung mandato ng DFP na mag-prevent, mag-control, mag-fight ng fire, ano siya dyan sa lahat? Ano yung ultimate niyang trabaho? The answer here is letter B, fire law enforcement. Ha? Fire education, ginagawa po yan, kunwari, business kayo or meron kayong organization, ituturo mo sa kanila yung Fire Code of the Philippines, susundin nyo yun. Fire education yun, pagtuturo. But if you are going to do everything like prevention, control, firefighting, protection, ini-enforce nyo yung batas ng Fire Code of the Philippines. Therefore, the answer is Bravo. Ha? Fire law enforcement. Tingnan nyo ha. Pag sinabing fire inspection, this is the critical view of the installation of the authorized personnel of fire department to determine the hazard. No? Para kung may mga recommendation siya, magawa niya pa. Fire prevention pertains to the employed to avoid possible fire occurrence. Suppression, hanapin nyo lang extinguishment na keyword. Fire control, ang keyword natin dyan, minimum or manageable level for easy suppression. At investigation naman, the process of determining the cause of fire. Yan ha. Paki-take note po ito. So the answer is, ang answer natin kanina is fire law enforcement. Bravo. Okay, for question number 4, set B or 104. The photograph of person who have mugshots on file at the police for reference of identification of unknown suspect is blank. A. Police lineup. B. Portrait parley. C. Observation room. And D. Rogues gallery. So ano lang ba yung ginagamit na ng mga pulis na file para ma-identify ang isang suspect? Okay, the answer here is Okay, very good. Halos lahat tama. Rogues Gallery. No? Rogues Gallery. O, kanina sinabi ko na to. No? Police line up, pag 7 to 10 yung suspect. Portrait parley, also known as speaking likeness. Observation room, ginagawa naman yan kapag nagkakandak tayo ng interrogation sa observation room. So for 104, delta. Okay, 105. In transnational crime, the crime of piracy may result to consequence accessory crime of crime of piracy. No? So A, illegal detention of crew. B, robbery in the highway. C, destruction of property. D, kidnapping for ransom. So 105. Accessory crime siya ng ano? Gumagawa ng piracy, isipin nyo na lang, pag may piracy, anong ginagawa? Letter. Accessory crime siya ng kidnapping for ransom. Bakit may sumasagot ng B? Robbery in highway is? Mali yan. Hindi robbery in highway. Ano kasi ito? Wait lang. Brigandage. Yun. No? Robbery in highway is brigandage. Sorry. Excuse me. Brigandage. Pandlang people. Bakit may sumasagot ng B? Piracy ang pinag-uusapan natin, buddy. Nasa dagat tayo. No? So, kadalasan, no? Piracy is kidnapping for ransom. No? Accessory crime siya ng kidnapping for ransom. Okay. 106. Which of the following is not one of the so-called three eyes of criminal investigation? Which of the following is not one of the so-called three eyes of criminal investigation? A, interview interrogation. B, instrumentation. C, intelligence. And D, information. Ito common sense na to. Isa lang naman yung hindi three eyes of criminal investigation dito. Letter. Okay. Letter C. Okay. Charlie. So sa information natin, meron tayong data. Kadalasan po ng data natin, makukuha natin sa open sources, 99%. Okay? Sa closed sources naman or covert, 1%. Magtiis muna tayo kasi wala tayong internet kahit dito. Ito na lang muna guys. Saglit lang. So 106 is Charlie. Tinopak yung globe eh. Okay. For 107. Hashish is A, dried flower of marijuana. B, fruiting top of plant cannabis sativa. C, finest and high-grade leaves of marijuana. And D, concentrated resin extracted from marijuana. Hashish is what? Ano yung hashish? May nagkakamali yan dito. Body. Hashish, yung resin. No? Yung parang dagta na yan ng mismong na kaya nga parang nahuli sa mas mataas yung penalty kaysa sa normal na marijuana kasi high grade yung hashish. Okay? So the answer 107 is delta. Concentrated heroin extracted from marijuana. Delta, 107. Okay. 108. Which of the following is not an Italian organized crime? Okay. A. Sicilian Mafia. B. Cali Cartel. C. Neapolitan Camorra. And D. Sacra Coronita. 108. Ano lang dito ang hindi member ng Italian organized crime group? Okay. The answer is letter B, Cali Cartel, because Cali Cartel is a Colombian mafia. Colombian organized group po ang Cali Cartel after ng Medellin Cartel. Si Medellin Cartel, hawak ni Pablo Escobar. Nung natalo yung Medellin Cartel, pumasok yung Cali Cartel. So, bravo. Okay. For 109. What is the measurement method used in crime scene where two adjacent walls use a point from which the distance are measured at right angles? Okay. What is the measurement method used in the crime scene? Two adjacent walls use, kung ito yung crime scene, through two adjacent walls, ginamit yung 1, ginamit yung 2. So, ano yan? A, baseline. B, triangulation. C, rectangular. D, compass point. Halimbawa, itong evidence mo, ito yung base point mo na isa, na adjacent wall, and adjacent wall number 2. So, ang measurement pa ganyan. So, ano yan? Ang type ng measurement? This is letter. Trace natin. Oops, nasa na ako? Letter C. Rectangular po ang sagot dito, ha? Okay, for 109 is rectangular. Ano ba ang magiging keyword natin sa baseline? Yung baseline, single reference point. Single reference point. Okay? Triangulation naman, ang keyword mo dyan ay two reference point. Okay? At sa compass, ang magiging keyword mo dyan ay yung salitang protractor. Yan na. So, ito kapag nanotate tayo, no? Kinukuha mo yung measurement. That is Charlie for 109. Nakakasunod pa ba? Buhay pa kayo? Ano pa ba kayo? Para isa kung humihinga pa? Choppy po. Yes, ma'am. Mahirap po. Oh, mahina talaga yung signal natin ngayong ngayong araw. Ewan ko ba? Na pati yung globe hindi gumagana. Inis ako. Okay. So, next. 100. The organized crime and terrorism is becoming more similar with regards to blank relationship. Okay. The organized crime and terrorism is becoming similar with regards to blank relationship. A, paternal. B, symbiotic. C, maternal. D, filial. Ano kaya yon? No? Nagiging similar na daw ang terrorist organized crime groups when it comes to their relationship. Kasing relation sila. Okay? Paternal, symbiotic, maternal. The answer is letter B, symbiotic. Okay. Pag sinabi mo symbiotic, give and take. No? Give and take. Paternal filial, parehas lang yun. Yung ibig sabihin, father and son relationship. Paternal, sa mga naman. So, 110, bravo. Okay. For 111. According to the U.S. Office of National Drug Central Policy, the drug trafficking organization can be characterized in the following, except blank organization. Okay, we are talking about drug trafficking. Okay, so A, international, B, core, C, local, D, secondary. Ibig sabihin ng symbiotic is give and take. No? Kung bibigay rin sa'yo, give and take. Dito tayo sa 111. What is the answer here? Okay. So according to the U.S. Office National Drug Central Policy, it is, ang exemption lang natin dito ay local. Pag mga kinalaman sa policy, kadalasan to ay international. So, Charlie. Or number 12 or 112. Infiltration of legitimate business by organized crime group is often by means of blank. Okay. Infiltration of legitimate business by organized crime group is often by means of A, affiliation, B, extortion, C, submission, and D, protection. So 112, affiliation, extortion, submission, protection. What is the answer? Okay, kadalasan ng ginagawa nila ay affiliation, alpha. Okay? Alpha, affiliation. Di ba? Gumagawa sa front para magawa nila yung illicit business nila. So the answer is alpha, affiliation. Ay, sorry. Napindot lang to. Sorry po. Ano ba yan? Namamaalam na kaagad yung aking ano. 1,000 plus pa tayo. Slides, saglit lang. Nawala. Wala po. Number 112. Okay. Okay, dito tayo. What is the biggest criminal organization in the world that controls the Golden Triangle? A, Chinese Mafia, B, La Cosa Nostra, C, Madeline Cartel, and D, Cali Cartel. Golden Triangle, sino may hawak niyan? Ang may hawak po ng ang may hawak po ng Golden Triangle ay ang Chinese Mafia. Okay? Chinese Mafia. The triads, no? Chinese Mafia. Yung La Cosa Nostra, Madeline Cartel, Cali Cartel, they are Colombian drug organization. So, hindi po sila na Golden Triangle. No? Hindi sila part dyan. So, ang answer natin 113 is alpha. 114. What is the questioning of a person who is not a suspect of crime? Hindi daw siya suspect ng crime. A, custodial interrogation. B, interrogation. C, custodial investigation. And D, interview. What is the answer? Oh, not a suspect of crime. Ay, bakit ganito na? Hindi ko pala na... Sorry. So the answer here is, basta hindi suspect ng crime is interview. Dahil pag sinabi nating interrogation, skillful questioning, yung keyword mo dyan, di ba? Skillful. Para yan sa mga reluctant witnesses or sa ating suspect itself. Magawa tayo ng interrogation. Okay? Custodial investigation, hindi na po yan. Basta you invited a person sa police station for questioning, that is already custodial investigation. But we are talking about here a person not suspect of crime. Therefore, the answer is delta, interview. Okay. For number 115, which of the following... Ma'am, sino po ang gumagawa ng custodial interrogation? Okay. Custodial interrogation lang rin yan. E di yung mga police officer na assigned dun sa case, sila po. Yung investigator, the police. Okay? Pag sinabi natin custodial investigation, nasa police siya pa lang. No? Nasa police ka, tinawag ka. Okay, after ng arrest. So, dito tayo kay 115. Which of the following is not essential requirement in making sketch? Not an essential requirement. Okay. A, measurement and focus direction. B, the name of the sketcher. C, title, essential items. And D, scale and proportion and legend. Ano yung halaga dito? Pag nagagawa ng sketch, common sense. D, the name of the sketcher. Hindi naman masyadong halaga yung pangalan ng sketcher, no? Ang mahalaga yung details ng sketch para pag pinresent yan sa court, complete. Okay. 116. As a traffic investigator, what is the immediate action to be undertaken at the scene? As the traffic investigator, what is the immediate action to be undertaken at A, check for hazards, B, interview witnesses, C, call for assistance, and D, check for casualties. Ano ang immediate action to be undertaken at the scene? For number 116, automatic yan, kahit anong mangyari, no? Ang kailangan mong gawin kung ikaw ay investigador or first responder, mag-check ka muna ng casualty. No? Automatic. Laging life ang mahalaga. So, kung manghuhula kayo, answer kayo, yun yung inyong hahanapin. Okay. So, 116, delta. Next. 115. Ay, 170 na pala tayo, sorry. What is the white crystalline powder with bitter numbering taste and said to be the strongest derivative of opium poppy? Strongest derivative. A, heroin. B, cocaine. C, morphine. D, cocaine. What is the answer? Heroin, codeine, morphine, and cocaine. So, kung opium poppy, so may mga derivative po yung opium natin. The answer here is heroin. Alpha. Siya ang strongest derivative ng opium poppy or ng opium. Codeine, no? Actually, derivative din siya ng opium. Ngunit lang, hindi siya yung strongest. At ginagamit yan for cough syrup. Yung mga yung pag may lagnat, pag may ubo ka, cough syrup siya. Morphine, first derivative ng opium, para daw gamutin yung may mga addict sa opium, gumawa ng morphine. Yung pala nakaka-addict pa rin. Kaya nagkaroon ulit ng heroin. Okay? So the answer here is A. Si cocaine, galing yan sa coca bush. Diba? Coca bush. So 117, alpha. Okay. 118. It is a good practice to make random car stops for purposes of promoting safety on highways. Is it good practice to make random car, yung bigla-bigla ka na lang daw hihinto for the purposes of promoting safety on highways? Tama daw ba yun? Random car stops. A, not recommended. It can be a violation of law. B, recommended, but only if the purpose of the stop is to promote safety. C, not recommended because although it is illegal, it is not effective. And D, recommended regardless of the purpose of stop. What is the answer? The answer here is, so ano dito dalawa yung recommended at dalawa din yung not recommended. Okay? Pero isa lang dyan yung detail. The answer is letter B. Very good. No? Recommended as long as the purpose of the stop is to promote safety. Hindi yung basta-basta ka na lang hihinto out of nowhere kasi magkukos ka din ng accident nun. So 118, bravo. Okay, for number 119 or number 19. If a crime is committed in one state but substantial parts of its preparation, planning, direction, and control takes place in another state, it is A, organized crime, B, environmental crime, C, traffic in person, and D, transnational crime. Pag sinabi natin transnational crime, matik yan, no? Kahit ano pa yan, kahit minimal lang yung ginawa mong preparation lang or halimbawa sa droga, doon mo lang binalot sa China pero dito mo binenta, still transnational crime yan. As long as ang involved is 2 or more countries. Okay? So 119 is delta. So, napag-usapan na natin yung organized crime, trafficking in person at environmental crime kanina. Okay. For 120, in investigating a crime, which place is it most likely possible for a suspect to leave physical evidence? In investigating a crime, which place is it most likely possible for a suspect to leave physical evidence? A, suspect house, B, place of arrest, C, crime scene, and D, hideout. 120? Anong sagot natin dito? Motik to, crime scene. Siyempre, saan pa po sila mag-iiwan ng mga physical evidence? Treasure Island, di ba? O. Letter, crime scene. Okay, 121 or number 21. Conducting an interview. This technique requires that the other suspect or witnesses should be blank from each other in order to avoid collusion. Pag mag-interview ka daw ng mga suspect or witnesses, ano kailangan mong gawin to avoid collusion? No? Hindi sila mag-correlate yung mga sinasabi nila sa isa't isa in one time. A, included, B, separated, C, excluded, and D, secluded. What is the answer? O, napaka-basic nito meron pa nagkakamali. Pag SOP to, kapag ikaw ay investigador at meron kang mga witnesses, hindi mo yan pwedeng pagsama-samahin sa isang lugar at doon tanungin. You should separate them from one another. So the answer is bravo. Okay? May nagkakamali pa, basic to. Ha? Separated. 121, bravo. 122. The best way to encourage an indifferent witness are: the best way to encourage an indifferent witness are: 1. Give them sense of importance by showing how information given by a victim. 2. Remind them that someday they may be a victim themselves and will want the other to cooperate. And 3. Find way to motivate every witness to talk with you and answer your question. A, 2 and 3, B, 1, 2, 3, C, 1, 3, D, 1, 2. Anong sagot natin dito? Paano natin i-encourage? Siyempre, kung gusto mong tumulong ang isang witness na indifferent, ibig sabihin ayaw magtulong, ayaw mag-help, ang kailangan ay letter B. 1, 2, and 3. Lahat yan. Okay? 120. Bravo. Okay, 123. What method account for as much as 60% of terrorist-related violence? What method account for as much as 60% of terrorist-related violence? A, kidnapping. B, bombing. C, assassination. D, prostitution. Okay? Kadalasan ng mga terorista, gumagawa sila ng violence, right? At through what? Letter B. Ano ba yan? Yung aking PowerPoint gusto laging matapos. Ba't ganun? Why naman like that? Dali ah. Most common is bombing. Bravo. Dali lang ah. Patawarin niyo na ako. Kasalanan ko to. Napindot ko na naman yung end. 122, bravo. So the answer is bravo. 123, bravo. And 124. When transversing on highway, double yellow line, nasabi ko na to kanina. A, B, C, or D? Oh, matik, letter B, cannot overtake under any circumstances. Okay, 125. Who has the final say if the evidence is admissible? Admissible dapat yan ah. Pakiayos na lang. Admissible. Who has the final say if the evidence is admissible? A, investigator. B, court. C, forensic scientist or criminalistics. And D, prosecutor. Siyempre, ang merong final say yan, matik, ay court. Kaya lagi korte ang merong final say. Bravo. Okay, for 126. In money laundering, the blending back into free economy of money coming from illicit activities so that it becomes indistinguishable from legitimate funds is A, layering, B, integration, C, placement, D, conversion. Blending back. Blending back to free economy. Ano yung sagot dyan? Letter B, integration. Very good. Okay. For 127, is the organized group, which has also been called a Federation and Blood Alliance. A. Mexican Cartel. B. Colombian Cartel. C. Sinaloa Cartel. And D. Cali Cartel. They are called as Federation and Blood Alliance. Ang sagot po natin dyan pare ay letter C, Sinaloa Cartel. Ang Colombian Cartel, sila po ang may hawak ng Silver Triangle. Silver Triangle. Silver Triangle. Ano, sino-sino ang Silver Triangle? Peru, Bolivia, at saka yung Colombia. Peru, Bolivia, Colombia is Colombian Cartel. Sila may hawak ng Silver Triangle. Cali Cartel, sila naman po ang nagpo-produce ng 90% of cocaine in the world. Si Cali Cartel, sila ang nagpo-produce ng 90% of cocaine in the world and are considered also as the best and the brightest of the modern underworld according to the US DEA. US DEA is PIDEA, no? So, yun. Doon natin nakuha yung PIDEA sa US DEA. Cali Cartel, 90% of cocaine in the world. Si Colombian Cartel, Silver Triangle, ang hawak nila ay ang Peru, Bolivia, and Colombia. Okay? $128. What is the main focus of money laundering on our fight against organized crime? What is the main focus of money laundering on our fight against organized crime? A. It ensures the isolation and preservation of financial institutions from illegal activities. B. Monitor the financial institution that harbor activities of organized crime. C. Determine whether the income of illicit activities are hidden. And D. The seizure and forfeiture of illicit money found in the financial institution. Ano ba talaga ang gusto nating mangyari? Bakit nagkaroon ng money laundering? A, B, C, or D? Ang tamang sagot dito ay letter B. Monitor the financial institution that harbor activities of organized crimes. Kaya nga, di ba, sa batas na money laundering dito sa Pilipinas, required ang mga banks, katulad ng mga, kahit yung mga pera padala, na magbigay ng statements sa AMLAC regarding ng lahat ng mga nakukuha nilang pera. Kasi para ma-monitor yung mga financial institution na possible mag-harbor ng activities ng organized crime. So letter B. 128B. Okay, 129. Which of the following is considered as the cardinal point to answer the course of investigation? Ito common sense na to. 129 is 5 W's and 1 H. Okay, and for the last, bago tayo mag-break ulit, 130. What is the characteristic or classification of physical evidence associated with a group? O, na ano na? With a group. What is the answer? Oy, with a group. Bakit may nagkakamali pa? Okay, the answer is class. Class characteristic. Okay? So, let us have a short break. 15 minutes. Tapos natin to. Okay? Mag-short break lang tayo saglit. Start na tayo. Okay. Question number 131. Okay. Which of the following are symptoms of the use of amphetamine? Okay, amphetamine. So, amphetamine is stimulant, right? So, A, loss of appetite, anxiety, and irritability. B, excitement, alertness, and wakefulness. C, sensation of distorted time, space, sound, color. And D, false perception of object and experiences. Ano ang ng amphetamine? Answer. Okay, makikita natin dito, may sumasagot ng B. Okay. So, halos lahat naman na ni tama. Letter B. Ay, sorry, A. Loss of appetite, anxiety, and irritability. Lahat kayong mali. Kasi, excitement, alertness, and wakefulness, definition, general siya for stimulant. General siya para sa stimulant. Sensation, distorted time, space, sound, color, false perception, lahat yan ay hallucinogen. Hallucinogen. Ito, yung C, D, hallucinogen, B, stimulant, A, loss of appetite, anxiety, irritability is amphetamine. Okay, 131, alpha. 130, hirap ba talaga? Na-stress kayo eh. 132, the principal source of all forms of cocaine is A, Middle East, B, South America, C, Southwest Asia, D, Southeast Asia. What is the answer? Principal source of all forms of cocaine. Saan? Middle East, Southwest Asia, Southeast Asia. Answer is South America. Very good. At least may tama na tayo, no? Letter B. South America. Okay, for 133. The opportunity for an economic but illegal business of unorganized crime exists and thrive. Ito, tricky question ulit, no? Tingnan natin yung logic na itong question na to. The opportunity for an economic but illegal business of unorganized crime exists and thrive. So, sino ba yung hinahabol nila sa market? A, there is a competition among organized. B, there is a favorable condition for organized crime group to engage in. C, the legitimate business leaves a bigger market of clients not being served. And D, there are many organized crime group waiting for opportunity. What is the answer for 133? Tingin nga. There is an opportunity for economic but illegal business. Okay. For unorganized, sino ba yung gusto nilang i-market? Sino ba yung gusto nilang makuha na kliyente? Of course, letter C. Mali ito Letter C dapat to. So, 133 is letter C. Sagot dyan C, hindi yan D. Okay, bakit? Wait. Sa organized crime group, no? Kadalasan po kasi ng organized crime group, okay, tandaan natin yung globalization. Remember globalization, no? Pag nagkakaroon ng globalization, hindi lang opportunity, legitimate business ang tumataas. Even the illegitimate business, yung mga illegal. Bakit? Marami pong mga clients or mga bibili sa market na hindi na nabibigyan ng opportunity or not being served by the legitimate business. Halimbawa, no, nagkakaroon ng mga black markets kasi sometimes katulad ng mga iPhone halimbawa na lang, no? Ang taas nung presyo ng iPhone. Ngayon, ang daming clients na gustong bumili. Yun nga lang, hindi lahat kaya. So nagkakaroon ng opportunity yung illegal business, kunwari magpasok ng ng mga illegal na kuha ng iPhone at nagbebenta sa dark market or sa black market, I mean. So the answer is C. The business leaves a bigger market of clients, not the sila yung na-tribe, no? Kaya sila nag-e-exist. Sila yung hinahabol ng mga organized crime. Okay? So 133 is letter C. Okay? So 133 letter C, 134 na po tayo. A member of organized crime group who is responsible in developing contacts with the criminal justice or political officials and when appropriate arranges the corruption is A. Launderer, B. Fixer, C. Enforcer, and D. Facilitator. What is the answer? Okay. Launderer, Fixer, Enforcer, Facilitator. Again ha. Meron lang tayong tatlong members ng organize. Mabubuo ka, di ba? Yung enforcer, corruptor, at saka corruptee. Yung nagde-develop ng contacts, yan ay trabaho ng corruptor. Okay? Kaso wala siya sa choices, no? Corruptor. Ito corruptee, yung public official na kinukorrupt natin. So, what is the answer here? A, B, C, or D? Sino yung nagde-develop ng contact? C, corrupter. Other term for corrupter is fixer. Letter B. Answer natin ay letter B. Si enforcer bahala siya sa violence eh. Diba? Yung facilitator, pampagulo lang ito. No, maraming type ng facilitator. Diba? So, the answer in 134, bravo. 135. Which of the following is a primary trait of a good investigator? Primary trait. So, lahat ito ay trait ng good investigator. Yun nga lang, meron tayong best trait na kailangang meron ang isang investigator. A, concern for others. B, subjective focus in investigation. C, forcefulness of personality. And alertness in all details. Ano ba ang pinakamahalaga kung investigador ka? Ha? So, letter D, alertness in all details. Lahat to ay good investigator trait. Pero ang pinakamahalaga dyan, kailangan detail. No? Alam mo lahat ng detalye. Kasi nga investigador ka, ultimo yung mga maliliit na details ma-identify mo. So, the best or primary trait is alertness in all details. Delta. Okay, 136. The drug that is commonly used by athletes because it increases stamina and or energy. Ito napaka-common sense na to, di ba? MMDA? May MMDA ba? Traffic to. Sa traffic, sa eksta kagad. Ecstasy, shabu, anabolic steroid. The answer is Charlie. Siyempre, 136, Charlie, anabolic steroids. Dapat to MDMA. Methylene dioxide methamphetamine or also known as ecstasy. Dapat MDMA. Okay? And shabu also known as the poor man's cocaine. Okay? 136 is delta. 136 is Charlie. Okay, for 137. In money laundering, the assimilation of illicit money into the free economy, usually in the form of what? 1. Letters of credit, bills of lading. 2. Bond securities, banknotes. And 3. Jewelries and merchandise. A, 1, B, 3, C, 2 and 3, and D, 1 and 2. What is the answer? The answer is C. Okay? Letters of credit, bills, bond securities and banknotes, tsaka jewelries, merchandise. Okay? 2 and 3. Charlie. Okay. 138. Okay. In determining the validity of buy-bust operation, the court looks for the following except 1. Okay? Yung validity daw ng buy-bust operation ay mahalaga bukod sa isa. Pag buy-bust, we are talking about entrapment, no? So, A, credibility of operatives conducting the buy-bust operation. B, complete picture in detailing the transaction. C, relevant material and competent pieces of evidence. And D, legality of inducement or instigation. What is the answer? Ano ang sagot? Okay, the answer here is letter D. Delta. Bakit ma'am legality of inducement? Hindi magiging legal ang instigation. Ha? This is illegal. No? Illegal. Bakit siya illegal? Because when we say instigation, we are we are pushing someone to do, commission, or commit crime. Diba? Pinupush natin yung isang taong mag-commit ng crime. Halimbawa na lang, may isang taong naiihi. Kunwari tambay. Sasabihin niya, sir, kunwari pulis ka, sir, saan kaya pwedeng umihi dito? Ikaw naman, sabihin mo, ay, dito sa wall na to, dito sa gilid. Tapos habang umiihi siya, hinuli mo siya. Sabi mo, bawal umihi dyan, huli ka. Ngayon, kinulong mo. That is instigation, no? Ikaw yung nag-push sa isang tao na mag-commit ng crime. Okay? So, instigation is illegal. Okay? So, 138, delta. Okay, for 139, what place known to be transshipment forms of all forms of heroin in the world? Transshipment forms of all forms of heroin in the world. A, Hong Kong. B, Burma. C, Philippines. D, Japan. Alam ko, nasagot ko na to kanina eh. Ano ang sagot dito? Transshipment forms of all heroin in the world? Alpha. Okay? Wala na pong Burma ha. Myanmar yan. Myanmar. Okay. So, halimbawa lang naman, no, sa choices, nakita nyo yung Burma, lalo na sa Golden Triangle, no? Burma at merong Myanmar, yun ang sagutin, Myanmar. Okay? For number 40. A kind of narcotics which appear like a raw milky liquid extract from opium poppy. A, codeine. B, opium. C, methamphetamine. D, cocaine. Ano yung raw milky liquid extract na makukuha sa opium poppy? Common sense. Answer is opium. So, tingnan natin, no? Sa opium is an example of a narcotic. Pag sinabi mong narcotic, it is painkiller. For to relieve pain. Diba? Kaya nga ginagamit po ang mga narcotics, lalo na ng World War, para po sa mga sundalo, no? Sa sundalo. So, first derivative niyan ng sa Papaver somniferum na plant o yung opium poppy is si opium mismo. Okay? So, tandaan ang opium or the Papaver somniferum is a plant usually 3 to 4 feet high. Okay? So, diyan nakakuha ang opium poppy or ang opium, I mean. Okay? So, other names, paragoric, Dover's powder, parepeculin. Okay. Makikita natin dito, after na mabuo yung opium, na-addict yung mga tao, nagkaroon ng morphine. This was invented by Friedrich Serturner noong 19th century. So, it is the most important alkaloid, constitutes the 10% use of raw opium. So, finilter niya yung pinakuloang opium. After niya ma-filter, nakaka-produce siya ng morphine. Okay? So, nung na-addict ulit yung mga tao sa morphine, nag-invent na naman sila ng heroin naman. Okay? This is the most commonly abused narcotic and was invented and discovered by Alder Wright. Okay? Odorless, crystalline powder, and very bitter in taste. Okay? Siya na yung strongest derivative sa lahat. After niya, nagkaroon rin ng codeine, kaya nga yung cough syrup, minsan may mga naa-addict doon. Pero may isa pa, no, yung methadone na, ito naman ay example ng synthetic narcotic. Natural po kasi yung mga una kong binanggit. Lahat sila ay galing sa plant, which is opium poppy. And opium poppy is a plant, therefore natural. Ito synthetic. Okay? Yung methadone, the synthetic narcotic. Huwag niyong kakalimutan to ha. Synthetic narcotic, methadone. Okay, so 140, ang answer po natin ay letter B, opium. Okay, for 141. When the searchers in the crime scene walk slowly at the same pace along path parallel to one side of the rectangle and end of the rectangle, and the searcher turn and proceed back along new lanes but parallel at the first path, this is a blank method of search in crime scene. A, wheel, B, double strip, C, strip, D, spiral. So, galing na daw siya parallel path at first. Kunwari halimbawa, bumalik na naman after D, gano'n naman. So, this is an example of letter 141 is letter B, double strip o yung grid method. Diba? Grid method. So, napakaraming types ng search. Diba? Kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan. Halimbawa, yung strip or line search method, this is the simplest form wherein the searchers proceed in a long path parallel to one side of the rectangle. Ganito. Diba? And yung example natin dyan sa question natin is the double strip, okay, or the grid method is a combination of the strip search and usually large scene. Sa spiral or circular method naman, makikita natin that the searcher will follow each other in the path of spiral beginning in the outside and towards the center. Katulad ng halimbawa nito. Okay? Kaya pwede siyang clockwise, pwede siyang counterclockwise, depende sa trip ng searcher. Okay. Meron din naman tayong tinatawag na wheel, radial, spoke method. Ito naman po yung para naman sa mga circular oval space. No? The area is then divided into 6 quadrants in pie-like fashion. Okay? And the quadrant or zone method, no, divided into 4 quadrants, and each searcher is assigned to 1 quadrant. Okay, ganitong halimbawa. Okay. For 142. A report written in narrative style has certain distinguishable traits. Which of the following is one of these traits? A. Easily adapted for entry into the data processing system. B. It is adaptable to a variety of situations. It is restricted in content. And D. It is inflexible. Now, which of the following is one of these traits ng report written in narrative style? It is letter ano sagot? Alpha. Easily adapted for entry into a data processing system. Okay? Letter A. Okay, ganito meron pang isang technique, yung pinagbabawal na technique sa mga board exam. Kunwari may mga choices na pare-parehas and feeling mo hindi mo alam yung isasagot mo. Applicable pa rin dito yung tinuturo sa inyo ng elementary, yung pinakamahabang answer, yun ang tama. Pero tandaan, babasahin mo pa rin, ha? Babasahin mo pa rin. In case lang na no choice ka. Kasi pag sa board exam, alam naman natin na kabado tayo. Pwede tayong mental block and whatsoever. So kapag ganon, kung uhula ka lang naman, magicin mo na. No? Yung pinakamahaba na yung isagot mo. Pero kung alam mo talaga yung answer, syempre makikita mo yan. Kahit gaano ka-ikli yung question and answer, yun ang isagot. Okay? So, dito naman tayo kay 143. Again, 142, the answer is alpha. For 143, for sale of illegal drugs, which of the following questions should be? For sale. A, who is the buyer or pusher buyer? B, who is the seller of the illegal drugs? And 3, what is the illegal drugs or object sold on how much? So what is the important? A, 1, 3, B, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, D, 1, 2. What is the answer? The answer is letter B. Okay? 1, 2, and 3. Kaya tandaan na 143, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, for 144. Under RA 7438, pag 7438, tandaan, custodial investigation. The immediate value does not include. Okay. Okay. A, spouse, parents, child, brother, or sister. B, grandparents, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. C, friends, countrymen, lovers, and concubine. And D, uncle, aunt, guardian. Answer. Ito madali lang, no? Pag custodial investigation, matik, letter C. Friends, countrymen, lovers, and concubine. For question number 145. Arsonists have been known to set fires because, ayusin niyo yung question dyan. Alam ko hindi ko na-edit yung nandiyan sa choices. Ayusin niyo yung question dyan sa papel nyo. Arsonists have been known to set fires because they A, enjoyed the excitement, B, wanted to earn money, C, did not want anyone hurt, and D, felt guilty. So, ang mga arsonists, kadalasan nagsiset sila ng fire because, of course, they are, sorry. The answer here is alpha. Enjoyed the excitement. Okay? For 145, the answer is enjoyed the excitement. For 146, what is the hallucinogenic drug originally derived from ergot fungus which grows on rye? What is the hallucinogenic drug derived from the ergot fungus which grows on rye? A. Barbiturates. B. LSD. C. MDMA. D. Shabu. MDMA is ecstasy, di ba? So ano lang ba dito? Papansinin mo dito pare, lahat ito ay hallucinogen, right? MDMA is what? Ano? Ang ecstasy ay ecstasy. Si Shabu, this is a stimulant. Barbiturate, depressant. So the answer is letter B. Nandun mo. Nandun mo. Okay. So 146 is Bravo, LSD, lysergenic acid. O, para hindi nyo makalimutan, ang mga depressants po natin ay BMT. Huwag nyo kakalimutan na, depressants is BMT. Barbiturates, metacolone, tsaka tranquilizers. Okay? Barbiturates, metacolone, at tsaka tranquilizers. Yan po ang example ng mga depressants natin. Okay? BMT. Kasi nalilito tayo kung hallucinogen ba yan, stimulant ba yan, depressant ba yan. Pag sinabi naman nating hallucinogens, tandaan nyo yung lapampam. Ano yung lapampam? Lysergenic acid, diethylamide, yung psilocybin, mescaline, pencyclidine, tsaka marijuana. Okay? Lapampam. Okay? Lahat ito ay hallucinogens. Huwag niyong kalimutan to ha. Para hindi kayo nalilito kung ano yung hallucinogen, ano yung stimulant. So, lahat ng wala dito sa choices, narcotic. Alam mo naman yung narcotic, lahat ng narcotic, ano? Yung opium, morphine, heroin, codeine, lahat ng mga din. Oh. Lahat ng wala sa choices, ito stimulant na yun. Diba? O, pabalik ma'am. Sige. Depressants. DMT. Barbiturate, metacolone, tsaka tranquilizer. Alis niya dyan. Okay. Next. Okay. The Philippines is susceptible to piracy attacks because A. Of lack of Coast Guard personnel. Chinese fishermen is South China Sea. Of archipelagic in nature. Lack of ships to patrol the seas. What is the answer? Okay, ang bansa natin ay archipelago, therefore napapalibutan tayo ng tubig, kaya kadalasan we are susceptible to piracy attack. The answer is Charlie. Okay, 148. While driving towards the accident scene, what should not be done? While driving towards the accident scene, what should not be done? A. Ignoring incoming persons and motor vehicles. B. Ascertaining hazards to approaching traffic. C. Ascertaining possible situation at the scene. D. Consider co-obstruction on approach. What should not be done? Pag papunta ka daw sa accident scene. The answer is ignoring incoming person and motor vehicle. Tandaan, yan lang yung negative dyan. Diba? Mag-ignore ng incoming person and motor vehicle. Yan ang pinakamali mong gagawin. The answer is alpha. Okay, 149. In determining the relationship of crimes and drugs, when the commission of offense motivated by users to support the drug use, it is referred to as, in determining the relationship of crimes and drugs, when commission of offense motivated by users to support the drug, the use, it is, answer dito ay drug-related offenses. Delta, 149, delta, 148 alpha, and 150. What is the act of organized crime groups wherein the money derived from illegal activities are converted into legally spendable, consumable form? Oh, matik na. Ano ang sagot dito? Money laundering. Transnational crime, hindi yan. Kasi dapat involvement of two or more countries. Okay. So, 150, Charlie. Okay, set 3 na tayo. Okay. Last 50 items. Tapos yung iba naman bukas. Sige. 1 minute to prepare. 50 items lang muna ulit. Ah, 351 na ngayon. 355, mag-start tayo for 50 items ha. Para makapag-prepare ng papel lahat. Three minutes to print. 50 items lang body. Bukas na yung iba. Okay? Kung gusto, ayan. Ito yung umpisa. It deals with the identity, location, arrest of person. Last 3 minutes. Last 2 minutes. Last. Okay. Okay na po ba? Ready na? Okay. Let us start. Okay. It deals with the identity, location, and arrest of a person who commits a crime simultaneously, identify, collect, preserve, and evaluate evidence for the purpose of bringing criminal offender to justice. A. Investigation. B. Criminal investigation. C. Investigative process. D. Criminal inquest. Answer. O, kung mapapansin natin, natanong na to kanina. Gaya nga ng sabi ko sa inyo, pwede lang bagu-baguhin yung pagkakabuo ng sentence. So again, makikita nyo dyan yung threefold aims of criminal investigation. Therefore, the answer here is letter B. Okay, makikita natin yung salitang investigation, it came from the Latin word investigare or investigatus, which means track or to trace. Okay, also investigation, yung kalahati naman ng term na yun, okay, came from the Latin word vestigium, wherein it means footprint. So the act or process of carefully inquiry or research is investigation itself. Pero pag pinasukan na natin na in relation to criminal investigation, ang tawag na natin doon criminal investigation. No? Pumasok na kasi yung threefold aims ng criminal investigation. After identifying, collecting, and preserving information gathered about the crime, the investigator shall blank such information to determine whether it can stand prosecution and trial. So ano ang gagawin ng isang investigator? Okay, A. Recognize. B. Collect. C. Preserve. D. Evaluate. Okay? Ano? If it can stand to prosecution or trial, the answer is letter A. Letter D. You need to evaluate the information to determine whether it can stand prosecution and trial. Next, 153. Which of the following is not one of the form of information the investigator obtained from regular, cultivated, or grapevine sources? Which of the following is not one of the form of information that the investigator obtained from regular, cultivated, or grapevine sources? A. Sensory. B. Written. C. Concrete. D. Physical forms. Okay. Yung mga ganitong klaseng information na galing lalo sa mga cultivated, grapevine sources ay hindi concrete. No? It is not concrete. Pag sinabi mo kasing konkreto, sakto na, no? Kompleto na. So, kapag galing dyan sa regular, cultivated, or grapevine sources, hindi pa yan yun. Okay? So, 153 is Charlie. For 154, or number 4 sa inyo. Through this tool of criminal investigation, tangible things may be used to detect crimes, identify the criminals, facilitate, and assist the investigator in its task in achieving the objectives of criminal investigation. Through this tool of criminal investigation, tangible things may be used to detect crimes, identify the criminals, facilitate, and assist the investigator in its task in achieving the objectives of criminal investigation. A. Information. B. Criminalistics. C. Instrumentation. D. Interview. Okay, ang gagawin mo daw, we want to detect through tangible things. So sa 3 I's or tools of investigator in criminal investigation, saan lang ba doon yung ang focus ay physical evidence. Information, instrumentation, interview, interrogation. The answer is letter C, instrumentation. Even though criminalistics and instrumentation is the same, no? Kaso ang pinag-uusapan natin ay tools of criminal investigation at pag ang tools, 3 I's din yan. So ang pipiliin mo yung best answer which is instrumentation. So 154, Charlie. Okay? For question number 155. Which phase of criminal investigation that the investigator apprised the person of his right under Republic Act 7438? 7438. A. Identification of criminal offender. B. During the arrest, detention, interrogation of the offender. C. The gathering of evidence to prove the guilt of the criminal offender. And D. During the police lineup. So, anong sagot natin dito? Ha? So, sa 155, ano po ang answer natin dito? Sinabi ko na to, yung 7438, ang batas na yan is for custodial investigation, right? So, saan dito yung custodial investigation? A, B, C, or D? During B. During the arrest, detention, and interrogation of the offender. Mabilis pa rin ba ako? Ibilisan ba kayo? Sobrang bagal na natin. Maglalakad na tayo. Okay, 155. Okay, bravo. So 156. 156. Okay, 156 na tayo. So what specific offense has been committed? Who committed it? When it was committed, where it was committed, why it was committed, and how it was committed are called, ano to? Pag ito may nagkamali pa, ayoko na, alis na ako. Letter A, cardinal points. B, 3 I's. C, golden rule. D, bridges burn. Ang sagot ay cardinal points. Okay. Si 3 I's and yung yung information, interview, interrogation, at saka instrumentation. So hindi yan. Golden rule, yung never touch, alter, move, or transfer unless marked, measured, sketch, or photograph. So, hindi din yan. Yung bridges burn, mamaya sasabihin natin yan para yan sa cadaver. Okay? So, 156, alpha. Okay? Next. 157. One of the stages of criminal investigation is the identification of criminals, which can be done in any or combination of the following except one. Ito na naman tayo. So one of the stages of criminal investigation is the identification of criminals except one. A, by confession or admission by the criminal. B, by corpus delicti. C, by circumstantial evidence. And D, by eyewitness. So ang sagot natin dito is letter 157 is bravo, corpus delicti. Okay? So si corpus delicti ay physical evidence, ang kasama niyan yung associative tsaka tracing evidence. Ang ma-identify natin sa corpus delicti kung anong klaseng crime yung na-commit. So bravo. Okay? So 157, bravo. So number 158 or number 8 dyan sa nyo. Coerced and uncounseled statements are considered involuntary or forced confession, which are usually an A, judicial, B, extrajudicial, C, prosecutorial, and D, admission. So, ang mga coerced uncounseled statements are considered involuntary or first confession, which are usually judicial, extrajudicial, prosecutorial, and the admission. Okay, this is called as extrajudicial confession. So pag sa extrajudicial confession, it is inadmissible in court. Yung judicial confession naman, ginagawa yan sa korte. Halimbawa, no, during the arraignment, diba? Arraignment. Pag tinanong ka, judicial confession, ikaw ba, are you guilty or not guilty? Sumagot ka, ang plea mo, guilty. Okay. So, yung pag-amin mong yon, that is a judicial confession kasi sa korte, legal. Extrajudicial confession, parang ano lang yan, parang extrajudicial killing. Lahat ng hindi dumaan sa process at umamin ka doon, no, hindi yan magamit sa korte or hindi magiging admissible. Okay? So, extrajudicial. Unless na lang ang extrajudicial confession magagamit yun sa korte if it is signed, okay, in the presence of a counsel, written in the language that is known, no, by him, pwedeng gamitin yan sa court. Okay? And voluntarily given. Pero kung hindi pasok dun sa mga elements na sinabi ko, it is inadmissible in court. Okay? So the answer for 158 is bravo. 158, bravo. Tingnan natin to. After apprising him to his rights under Republic Act 7448, Lauro Galit, who was invited and interrogated for the crime of murder, executed an extrajudicial confession acknowledging his guilt to the crime charge. What is the effect of the confession to his case? Okay, so ulitin ko After apprising him of his rights under Republic Act 7438, Lauro Galit, who was invited, interrogated for the crime of murder, executed extrajudicial confession acknowledging his guilt. Okay, gumawa siya ng confession. Okay, acknowledging guilt, statement of guilt is confession. Statement of fact or acknowledging of facts is admission. Yun yung pinagkaiba nila, right? So ito. So, what is the effect of such confession to his case? A, it can be used as evidence against him. B, he will be convicted for the crime of murder. C, he may be subject to prove his innocence. And D, his case will prosper. What's the answer? Ang sagot dito pare ay it can be used as evidence against him. Bakit? Because he was already apprised by his rights, no, under Republic Act 7438. No, sinabi na you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say against you can be used against you, blah blah blah. So nasabi na yung karapatan niya, therefore lahat ng sasabihin niya ay maaari nang gamitin laban sa kanya. Okay? So the answer in 159 is Al. Okay. 160. Which of the following is not an element of corpus delicti? Which of the following is not an element of corpus delicti? A, proof of the occurrence of a certain event. B, a person's criminal responsibility for the acts. C, additional evidence of different character to the same point. And D, proper chain of custody. Ano ang naiiba dito? This is letter C. Okay, additional evidence of different character to the same point. Okay, that is a corroborative evidence. Very good. Charlie is corroborative evidence. Kaya, so si 160, ang corpus delicti natin, proof occurrence of certain event. Halimbawa, kung crimes against person yan, yung dead body. Kung crimes against property, yung stolen property, that is your corpus delicti. Okay, so dapat mapakita natin dyan yung proper chain of custody para maging applicable or admissible in court. So 160 is Charlie. Okay. Question number 161. Okay. An act or declaration made in the presence, within the hearing or observation of party who does or say nothing, when the act or declaration naturally calls for action if comment is not true. Okay. So, A, admission by silence. B, res inter alios acta. C, admission. D, negative pregnant. Sabi niya dito, hindi sumagot, lalo na during arraignment, hindi sumagot yung tao habang tinatanong siya na, are you guilty or not guilty? Ano ang tawag natin doon? Ha? Letter A, admission by silence. Si res inter alios act, a thing done to strangers ought not to injure those who are not parties to them. Okay? Isipin mo na lang ganito. Sa res inter alios acta, no? Umamin ka sa, kunwari, meron kayong grupo, no? Umamin yung isa sa inyo na kayo yung pumatay, no? Doesn't mean na lahat kayo umaamin na. Siya lang yun. Ha? Okay, it will not injure the others. Okay, so Brab, ang sagot natin kay 161 is alpha, admission by silence. So 162. Okay, very good yung example ni Saranilla dito sa res inter alios acta. No? An act of John cannot be said by act of Peter. Okay. So 162, 1 or 12 dyan sa choice sa notes nyo. In this process, written confession of accused is used as a script in describing events of the crime. This strengthens the prosecutor's case and serves to convince the judge that the accused was not altered nor affected by sinister psychological influence. A, mental reconstruction. B, crime reenactment. C, reconstruction. D, physical reconstruction. In this process, written confession of the accused is used as describing events of crime. This strengthens the prosecutor's case and serves to convince the judge that the accused was not altered nor affected. Okay. By sinister psychological influence. What is the answer? Ang sagot natin dito ay letter A, mental reconstruction, alpha. Okay? Alpha. 162 is alpha. Or question number 163. Or number 13 dyan sa inyo. Statement number 1. Confession is voluntary statement, either oral or written, made by a person charged with the commission of crime, which he admits participation in or commission of the criminal act. It cannot be implied, it should be direct and positive acknowledgement. Question, statement 2. Admission is a statement of the accused regarding facts pertinent to the crime. It tends to the connection of the proof of other facts to prove the suspect's guilt. It can be implied. A, statement number 1 is true, while statement number 2 is false. B, statement number 1 is false, while statement number 2 is true. C, statements number 1 and 2 are both true. And D, statements number 1, 2 are both false. What is the answer? Okay? Parehas po silang tama. Letter C. No? 1 and 2 are both correct. Confession, statement of guilt. While admission, statement of fact. Therefore, no, hindi pwedeng implied ang confession, dapat malinaw niyang ina-acknowledge 100%. Admission, pwedeng implied. So, number 163 or number 13 is Charlie. 164, number 14. Which of the following need not be present in order to prove the guilt of accused by means of confession or admission? Oh, kahit wala daw. So, lahat ay present bukod sa isa. Okay? So, A, confession must be supported by corroborative evidence. B, corpus delicti must be established separately. C, confession must be voluntarily and freely given. And D, confession must be ratified by the judge or fiscal. What's the answer? The answer is letter. Okay, very good, no? Letter D. Hindi na kailangan i-ratify pa yan ng judge or ng fiscal. Okay? Ang confession, it is the choice of the accused itself, no? Kung aamin siya or hindi. So, delta. For number 14 or 164, delta. Okay, buhay pa ba kayo dyan? Humihinga pa ba kayo? Parang na kumukonti na yung ano natin yung sumasagot. Kaya meron na lang tayong 299, kanina 333 kayo. Laban lang. Bukas 300 question ang sasagutan natin. Kaya kaya nyo yan. Okay? Okay. For question 165, assume that an investigator who investigates murder case perpetrated by unknown suspect. Unknown suspect. A person in the name of Roel, a call center agent, saw the crime and is willing to identify the suspect. Which of the following methods will you utilize? Will you not utilize to establish the identity of the suspect? Okay. A, verbal description, portrait parley and rogues gallery. B, general photographs, cartographic sketch. C, police lineup. D, systematic interview that may lead to the identity of known criminal. Okay, tandaan nyo unknown suspect. So, what is the answer? Anong sagot? Nandiyan na yung keyword, unknown suspect. The answer is letter D. Ang sagot dito ay systematic interview that may lead to the identity of known criminals. Okay. Okay. So, pag sa testimony, meron tayong methods of identification. Yun nga, yung verbal description, photographic files, artist sketch, and general photograph. Pag verbal description, pwede yung portrait parley. Rogues gallery, photography files. Pag artist sketch, other term for that is cartographic sketch. At yung general photograph. Ulitin ko lang balik natin para makakasunod. Verbal description, rogues gallery, cartographic sketch. Okay. Kung meron kang eyewitness, halimbawa nun, no? Yung sa example natin, no? Na nandun si Ruel, nakita niya. Yung value of identification ng isang eyewitness, halimbawa ni Ruel, will depend on this 3. Huwag niyo tong kalimutan tong tatlong to Number 1, the ability to observe and remember distinct appearance of the suspect. No? Kaya niyo bang makaalala pa kung anong nangyari. Also, the prevailing condition of visibility and the lapse of time on gaano na ba katagal nangyari yung crime. So, yan ha. So, also, the procedures in identification, yung kaninang sinasabi ko, the police lineup, pag meron tayong 7 to 10 person, so this is to eliminate the power of suggestion. And physical, so pag isa lang naman, no? Only one person is shown to the witness. So, ang physical lineup ay nagsimula yan noong 1852 by the Boston Police. This is the first police lineup that happened sa Boston. Additional information lang to. Pwede kayo mag-take note. So therefore, ang answer natin sa 165 or number 15 is delta. Okay, 166. You are an investigator investigating a suspected rape slaying case which was witnessed by a certain person volunteered to identify and testify against perpetrator. What are the factors that you should not consider to determine the accuracy of his identification of suspect? You will not consider. So lahat yan ay tama bukod sa isa. Okay? A, his ability to observe and remember the distinct appearance of the suspect. B, the prevailing condition of the visibility observation when the crime was committed. Letter C, state of mind when the witnessed the commission of crime. And D, the lapse of time between the criminal event and when the identification was made. Okay, so 166, the answer here is letter. Nasabi ko na to kanina, ano lang nawawala, ang wala dito? Dapat, letter C, his state of mind when he witnessed the commission of crime. Okay, for 7, circumstantial evidence is an evidence that indirectly proves the fact issued through an inference which fact finder draw from evidence presented. It is sufficient to produce the conviction of the accused. Okay, so magiging sufficient lang daw ang, alam naman natin, hindi sufficient ang circumstantial evidence. Kunwari, may isa kang circumstantial evidence, halimbawa lang, may namatayan na pamilya. Yung bahay merong nirab, halimbawa. Tapos may nakita kang ebidensya, isa lang, may taong dumaan dun sa harap ng bahay, sa CCTV. Sapat na bang ebidensya yon to prove that he is the one who committed the crime? Hindi, kasi isa lang siya. Pero magiging applicable ang circumstantial evidence dito sa following. A, there are more than one circumstances present. B, the facts from which inference derived are proven. C, the combination of all circumstances is such as to produce conviction beyond reasonable doubt. And D, all of this. Okay, so what is the answer? Kailan lang magiging 100% na pwede nating magamit yung circumstantial evidence, no? To prove unreasonable doubt. Okay, the answer in 167 or 17 is all of the above. No? Kapag merong more than one circumstance, kapag the facts which the inference derived are proven, and kung merong mga combination of circumstances. Okay, so all of the above for 167. For 168, you are an investigator who investigates an alleged robbery with homicide case perpetrated by unknown suspect. Ito na naman tayo perpetrated by an unknown suspect. Since there are no witnesses to the crime, the following may give you a hint to identify the suspect, except one. Nakita nyo na yung sagot. Ano ba yan? Okay. A, motive and opportunity. B, declaration and acts indicative of guilt preparation for the commission. C, modus operandi. And D, knowledge, skill, tools, facilities that could easily be adopted by criminal use of the suspect. So, ang naiiba lang dito ay letter D. Okay, knowledge, skill, tools, or facilities that could easily be adopted by criminal use by the suspect. Hindi nga natin alam kung sino yung suspect. Okay, so dito, through motive and opportunity, there's a possibility na magkaroon tayo ng lead kung sino yan. Okay, the declaration acts indicative of guilt, of course, the modus operandi. So, ang naiiba lang dito is letter D. The answer for 168 is delta. Okay, 169. Person who by social or professional position possesses or has access to information of continuing interest and who willingly provides information to the police either in response to specific request or his own initiative. A, incidental informant. B, casual informant. C, automatic informant. D, recruited informant. Social or professional position. So the answer here is letter D, casual informant. Bakit casual informant? Tingnan natin, no? May iba't iba tayong categories of informant. Meron tayong incidental, those work with authorities on our particular incident with no intention of providing subsequent information. Ibig sabihin, one time lang. Isang beses lang ako tutulong, hindi na magne-next. Meron din tayong tinatawag na casual. Yun nga yung sagot natin doon, wherein meron great value yung kanyang participation to the police. No, voluntarily or willingly. Okay, so yan yung sagot natin dito ha. Casual informant, 169. Meron din tayong category na automatic. Ito naman yung mga members na ng PNP, halimbawa, ng law enforcement, by nature of his work and position. Yan ang keyword. 4, recruited informant. Ito naman ay trabaho na nila, 100%. No? They are selected, trained, and utilized to continuous covert source information concerning to specific intelligence target. Okay, paki-take note po yung categories of informants. Okay, next. 170. Covert observation of person, place, or things by human or technical means to acquire information. A, surveillance. B, stationary surveillance. C, mobile. D, technical. Ang answer natin dito ay, pwede daw kang mag-observe ng person, place, things. It's either by human or technical means, surveillance. Si stationary surveillance ay kilala rin bilang fixed stakeout or surveillance of places. Tailing and shadowing, yan naman ay moving surveillance. Moving. Aerial, kapag gumagamit tayo ng mga helicopters or aerial devices. At meron din tayong technical if we are using bugging devices, communication, or electronic eavesdropping device. Paki-take note din po ito. Yung kinds of surveillance. Next, for 171 or 21. In this method of shadowing, operatives are stationed at a fixed point, assuming that the subject followed the same general route each day. Ito, kapag na-surveillance mo na, for example, yung taong susundan mo, pwede na to. No? A, ABC method. C, B, leapfrog method. C, combined foot surveillance. And D, none of the above. What is the answer? So, meron ka ng fixed point. Nari, alam mo na kung saan kalsada siya araw-araw dumadaan, therefore, dun ka na nang hihinto. Ang answer natin dito ay letter B, the leapfrog method. Okay. Nakikita natin, there are different types of shadowing. Meron tayong one man, wherein ang keyword natin to, extremely difficult. Bakit? Kasi isang tao lang yung gagawa niyan. Okay? This must be avoided kasi kailangan natin ng body system. Diba? Kailangan natin lagi ng kasama. Delikado po kasi ito. Two-man method, ito yung laging nagagamit. Most common, wherein two agents are employed. ABC method, yun nga, it reduces the risk of losing the subject. Ideal. Pwede nyo yung lagay yung keyword na ideal. Okay. Yun nga lang, magastos. Kaya hindi masyadong nagagawa yung ABC method. Kasi 3 agents ang kailangan mong gastusan. Progressive or leapfrog method, yung example natin kanina, meron ng fixed point. Okay? And combined foot and auto surveillance, okay? Wherein, gagamit ka ng foot and automobile. Sa automobile surveillance, ilan ang kailangan nating surveillance? Ilang tao ang nakasakay? At least 2. Okay, very good. At least 2. Yung driver at saka yung note taker. Tandaan niya na, pag auto surveillance, automobile, okay, yung isa note taking or recording, yung isa driver. Okay? So, methods of shadowing. Okay, for 172 or 22. Sometimes called roping. Okay. An investigation technique whereby the operatives conceal his true identity. Ano ba yan? Bakit di kumaano? Ma-move. Okay. Sometimes called as roping, an investigative technique whereby the operatives conceal his true identity and adopts an assumed role to obtain information or accomplish a specific mission. A, undercover assignment. B, dwelling assignment. C, working assignment and social assignment. And D, personal contact assignment. What is the answer? Sagot natin dito ay undercover assignment. Very good, Alpha. No, we want to conceal his identity. So, pwede kang ma-assign sa dwelling, sa work assignment, sa social assignment, or personal contact assignment. Depende kung saan ka ilalagay. Pero, generally, no, pag nagko-conceal tayo ng identity natin para mapalapit tayo sa subject, other term for subject is, ano ang other term for subject? Rabbit. Rabbit. Very good. Okay? So, answer natin dito kay 172 is alpha. You are an investigator tasked to investigate a suspected murder case which there is no known suspect, no witness, nor other circumstantial evidence except physical evidence. Where can you get these pieces of evidence that may lead you to the identity of the suspect? A, crime scene, victim, suspect, all of the above. So, common sense. Saan makikita? crime scene. Alpha. Okay, mali to ah. Alpha lang dapat. Okay, you are suspected task investigators, no suspect. Ang sagot dito ay crime scene. Alpha. Treasure Island, Alpha. 174 or 24. You were an investigator who tries to reconstruct the crime scene. What are the components of crime scene situation which you would analyze? You are an investigator who tries to reconstruct the crime scene. What are the components of crime scene situation which you would analyze? A. Suspect arrival at the scene and place of entry. B. Movement of suspect from point of entry and his contact with. C. Place of exit. D. All of the above. Ang sagot dito? Kung investigator ka daw, anong papansinin mo dyan sa mga yan? Siyempre, all of the above. No? All of the above. Pag investigator, lahat ng pwede mong pansinin dyan, no? I-analyze, gagawin mo. So 174 delta. 175, what is the type of reasoning whereby the collected information is analyzed carefully to develop a theory of crime? What is the answer here? Type of reasoning, analyze carefully the theory. Answer is alpha, inductive. Very good. Okay, 176. Tingnan natin yung mga statement. Statement number 1, in reconstruction of crime, the investigator rational theory of crime may begin with deductive logic and later on inductive logic. In rational theory, the crime is more than learned guess but less than a certainty but have very high order probability. A. Statement number 1 is true while 2 is false. B. Statement number 1 is false while statement number 2 is true. C. Statement number 1 and 2 are both true. And D. Statement number 1 and 2 are both false. Ano sagot natin dito? Ang sagot natin ay letter C. No? Both true. Both true. Okay. Pagdating sa rational theory, no, nagsisimula po tayo sa deductive logic to inductive logic. Okay? So ang sagot natin dito pare, tama to. Okay? Letter C. Okay? Letter C. Bali pag deductive, meron ka conclusion. Okay? So meron kang conclusion tapos papunta ka sa specific pag inductive. So tama to, no? From the specific, no, hihimay-himayin mo to inductive logic. And the rational theory crime is more than learned guess but less than certainty but have very high order of probability. So ang sagot natin dito ay letter C. Okay, dito tayo sa physical reconstruction. Okay, statement number 1, physical reconstruction. The physical appearance of crime scene is reconstructed from description of witnesses and indication of physical evidence. While mental reconstruction, after physical reconstruction, conclusions are made about consistency of accounts of various witnesses. No assumption is made without supporting evidence. A. Statement 1 is correct. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. C. Statement 1 and 2 are both correct. And D. 1 and 2 are both incorrect. Okay. So what is the answer here? Okay. Just like sa ating answer kanina, they are both correct. Okay? Parehas po. Di ba na-explain na natin kanina tong physical reconstruction? They are both correct. Charlie. After reconstructing the crime scene, the following are the minimal requirements to observe by the investigator to ensure admissibility of in court. Saan daw dito ang minimal requirements observed by the investigator in the admissibility of photographs in court? A. Object which is represented should not be immaterial or irrelevant. B. Photograph should not unduly incite prejudice and sympathy. C. Photograph should be free from distortion. And D. All of the above. What is the answer? Sagot dito ay letter, syempre all of the above. Kailangan laging material to the case, relevant. So, mali, tama kagad to. Okay? So, hindi dapat mag-prejudice, wala dapat siyang kilingan. Okay? Wala dapat siyang bigyan ng simpatya. And it should be free from distortion. So, for 178, ang sagot natin ay delta. Okay. 17, okay. What is the correct order of crime scene analysis? Ano ba dapat magkakasunod-sunod ng mga photograph, note-taking, whatsoever, searching? Ang tamang pagkakasunod-sunod po niyan ay first photograph, number 2 sketch, and 3 search. Yan ang pagkakasunod-sunod photograph, sketch, search. For 179 or 29. Why does dead body of the victim of violence need to be photographed after removal from the scene? Okay. Bakit? A. To have a set view showing the relationship the body with the surrounding. B. To identify the victim and have close-up picture of the wounds. C. To provide reserved picture in case of loss or damage. And D. All of the above. Ano sagot natin dito? So kung pag nag-uusapan natin ay biktima ng violence. So, bakit ba natin pinipicturan ang isang katawan ng victim ng violence? This is to letter. Maging specific tayo kasi specified dito na victim of violence. Bakit natin pinipicturan ang mga sugat ng victim of violence? Halimbawa, Bausi. Letter B. To identify the victim and have close-up picture of the wounds. Actually, tama naman siya lahat. Yun nga lang, in-specify kasi na victim of violence. And we are going to identify dito bakit pinipicturan yung mga wounds ba ng mga biktima ng violence. Halimbawa na lang, no? Physical injury, halimbawa. Pag ano magiging ebidensya mo doon? Yung picture ng wounds mo. Right? So, para maging specified yung answer natin, dapat letter B. Identify the victim and have close-up picture of the wounds. So, 179, bravo. 180. Photographs to be taken at the scene of the crime. Okay. A. Overall and environment photograph. B. Photographs of articles, evidence, and photographs of disease. C. Photographs. Dapat, lagyan nyo yung choices nyo dyan na except one. Lagyan nyo dyan. Sa notes nyo. Except one. Sorry, hindi ko pala yan na-edit. Except 1. And D, special technique photograph of the body after removal. Anong sagot dito? So lahat dapat picturean bukod sa photographs of scene of the crime operatives. Wala tayong pakialam kung sino-sino yung mga scene of the crime operatives dyan. Ano yan? Selfie? Oh, tama si Heras. Nagpicture si... Oh, selfie muna sa dead body bago itapon. Ganon? Oh, wala namang ganon. So, for 180, the answer is Charlie. No? Okay, 181. It supplements photographs of the crime scene and considered to be the simplest and most effective way. Ayan na. Simplest and most effective way of showing actual measurement of identifying significant items of evidence in their location at the scene. A. Crime scene sketch. B. Rough sketch. C. Finish sketch. D. Direction sketch. What is the answer? Okay. So dito, ang sagot natin ay letter A, crime scene sketch, no? Hindi rough sketch, finish sketch, parehas naman tong crime scene sketch, kaso nga lang, yung definition niya ay general. So, this is the most effective way and may actual measurement, therefore, crime scene sketch. Supplement of photograph. Next, in searching physical evidence at the crime scene, the following types of search could be used depending upon the locale, number of personnel available, type of object sought, speed desired, except A. Strip, double strip, grid search, B. Zone search, C. Rectangular, circular search, and D. Spiral and wheel search. What is the answer? Exception natin ay letter C, rectangular and circle search. Charlie. Okay, for 183, which of the following must be done to maintain the physical integrity? Physical integrity. Okay, evidence must be photographed when packed. Evidence must be properly documented, maintain its chain of custody, and identify, tag, seal. Ang sagot natin dito pag physical integrity ay Charlie, maintain the chain of custody. Yung kakalimutan niya na, maintain the chain of custody. Ito yung hinahanap nyo. Pag sinabi naman nating legal integrity, anong sagot? Letter C. Identify, tag, seal, evidence. Kaya, okay? Pag physical integrity, maintain chain of custody. Pag legal integrity, identify, tag, and seal evidence. Okay, 185. The methodology involving the systematic searching, handling, distribution, and accountability of all evidence found at the crime scene, including the documentation of every article of evidence from point of initial discovery at the scene to its collection and transport to the point of examination. Its temporary storage and its final disposal is referred to as A. Corpus delicti, B. Necropsy report, C. Blatter, D. Chain of custody. Sagot natin dito, kay 185. Oh. So, yung pagkakasunod-sunod daw ng systematic search, tapos accountability, documentation, examination, pati storage, that is chain of custody. Anong pinagkaiba ng autopsy at necropsy? Autopsy sa tao. Necropsy sa hayop. Ha? Necropsy sa hayop. Next, 186. To prove the chain of custody of evidence, the following must be demonstrated, except the following must be demonstrated except one. A, evidence must be free from alteration, contamination, and switching. Evidence offered is the same evidence found in the crime scene. There is no opportunity to replace or improperly alter the evidence, and D, any change in the condition of evidence can be explained. Ano ang exemption natin dito? Letter A. No? Evidence must be free from alteration, contamination, and switching. (187) Which of the following is not one of the questioning techniques that should be utilized in interrogation? A, chronological. B, general to specific. C, going backward. D, going upward. Ito common sense, no? Pag nag-interrogate ka, dapat ang iyong tanong laging forward, specific, chronological. Pwede ding backward, pero walang upward. Okay? Walang upward. Ano yan? Fire? Fire? Ang fire laging upward, yes. No? Pero in questioning, no, chronological, specific, or backward, pwede. 187. Okay, 188. In questioning witness, an ideal type of written statement is A, narrative type because it is easier and will be short. B, question and answer because it provides details. C, combination of two. And D, your convenient type. Anong pinakamagandang type ng questioning sa witness? That is letter B, question and answer because it provides detail of acts. Okay? Kung best type lang naman, question and answer. Pero pwede ring mixed, no, narrative in real life situation kung anong convenient sa'yo. No? But in 188, the answer is question and answer. Bravo. Okay, 189. Jesse was invited by NBI operatives to answer questions pertinent to the murder case investigated. After questioning, the NBI headquarters, however, he was held for further questioning and considered him a suspect already. Persons who can visit him are as the following, except, common sense na to, lovers, immediate members, medical doctor, o CHR. Ang sagot natin ay alpha, lovers, friends, and countrymen. Very good. And 190. Republic Act number 7438 defines immediate members. Nasagot ko na to kanina, except sa ating relatives, intimate friends, and best friend. 191. What are the golden rules in homicide investigation? Never touch, alter, change position until identified, measured. B, if articles must be moved, it can never be restored again, original position. C, A, B are true. D, all of the above. What is the answer? For number 40, ang sagot natin dyan ay delta. 41, anong sagot natin dito? A and B. Bakit hindi all of the above? Kasi may A and B na, mas specific siya, no? So ang sagot natin ay Charlie. (192) An interview of a witness can be described by the acronym IRONIC, which stands for A, Inquiry, Recognition, Organization, Novelty, Identity, Continuity. B, Identity, Rapport, Omnipresence, Narration, Inquiry, Conclusion. C, Identity, Recognition, Opening Statement, Narration, Inquiry, Conclusion. And D, Identity, Rapport, Opening Statement, Narration, Inquiry, Conclusion. Answer? Delta. Very good. Which one is not a means of recording crime scene? Which one is not means of recording crime scene? A, by photographs. B, by notes. C, by sketch. D, surveying. Ang dali naman ito. So, common sense. 43, delta. 44. The application of all procedures for search of missing person is A, rogues gallery. B, tracing. C, manhunt. D, order of battle. Anong sagot dito? Sagot. Ang keyword mo dyan, all procedures. Pagdating sa missing person. So, anong gagawin mo? You are going to conduct tracing. Bravo. Manhunt, order of battle, halos pwede din naman. Yun nga lang. No? Nasa keyword na all procedure. Mas detail. So, ang sagot natin ay tracing. Bravo. 195. Physical evidence are contaminated, altered of shape, damaged, or lost because of A, improper packaging. B, corruption of investigator. C, non-maintenance of chain custody. And D, A and C are true. What is the answer? Letter? Very good. Letter D. A and C are true. Okay, last 5 items for this afternoon. 196. The systematic procedure for verbal description of person after short period of visual observation is termed portrait parley. Statement number 2. Description of police characters which witness may refer to and kept by police is rogues gallery. So therefore, the answer is for number 46 is they are both correct. Charlie. Okay? Verbal description, portrait parley, parehas lang yon. Pinakita ko sa example ko kanina. 47. Tagging of physical evidence aside from marking should be made immediately after receipt of custodian. Statement 2, marking or labeling should be made at the crime scene upon collection. These are both correct. Okay, very good. Charlie. 198. RA 7438. Okay. When does the police custody of suspect to a crime scene commence? Hence, the latter is entitled to be informed his right under Miranda Doctrine. Okay. Si Ernesto Miranda. Sa kanya nagsimula yan. Miranda versus Arizona. Yan yung case, yung jurisprudence ng ano na to. Bakit nagkaroon ng Miranda Doctrine? So, which cannot be waived? A, at the time of custodial investigation. B, during actual questioning. C, during announcement that he is under arrest. And D, at the moment that he is invited for questioning. What is the answer? Okay. For 198, the answer is ano? At the moment that he is invited for questioning. Delta. Okay. 198, delta. 199. What is the principal psychological factor that contributes to a successful interrogation? A, privacy. B, rapport. C, legality. Or D, it should be done in the interrogation room. Ano yung psychological factor para sa successful interrogation? Ha? The answer is ano ang sagot? Ang rapor para yan sa interview, right? Ang rapor ginagawa natin sa yung ironic format rapor para sa interview. Therefore, pagdating naman sa interrogation, ang sagot dito ay alpha, privacy. Privacy. Kaya nga hinihiwa-hiwalay pa yung mga yan, di ba? Bakit tayo nagbuo pa ng interrogation room? Para po sa privacy, para makapagsalita siya. Kasi reluctant yung tinatanong. So, ang sagot dito, 199, privacy. And last number for this afternoon. Statement number 1, in spiral method of search, the searcher is gathered at the center and proceed outward along radius spokes. 2, in wheel method, the searcher follow each other along path of spiral, beginning at outside and spiral towards the center. A, number 1 is correct. 2 is incorrect. C, 1 and 2 are both correct. D, statement 1, 2 are both incorrect. Anong tamang sagot? Yan, di ba? Nasanay kayo na palaging tama both. The answer here is D. Statement 1 and 2 are both incorrect. No, pinagbaliktad yung spiral at saka yung wheel method na definition. Ito yung wheel, ito yung spiral. Nako. Okay. So, sakto, it is 5 o'clock the afternoon. No? 186. Okay? So, tomorrow, so, bale, tomorrow, meron tayong 300 items pa na sasagutan. Thank you guys. No? 8 a.m. tayo tomorrow para matapos natin yung lahat. And I hope you learned a lot today. No? Magkuha kayo ng mga notes sa classmates nyo, lalo ng mga kakapasok pa lang. Sayang. Okay? Magkita tayo ulit bukas. Sir, ma'am, thank you po. We'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Salamat.